Okay, this time we are going to do an all-in-one loan on a cash out refi for a home you may own right now. So for this instance, again, we're going to stay with simplicity, and we're going to say you bought the home several years ago, you owe 400,000 still on your first mortgage, and your home's worth $1 million. So primary homes, we can take out $800,000 of that million. So it's 80%. And keep in mind, you still owe 400. So I'm going to show you that in a second. But we're going to compare it to a 6.5 cash out refinance, which you may be able to find that. It might cost you a little bit on a cash out refinance of that amount. So, all right. So $800,000 loan balance, $1 million valuation. We're going to change this to 15,000. This is the amount of income after taxes you have coming in for the household. All right. Now this is a one-time deposit. Remember, you only owe 400,000 and we're going to do a cash out for 800. So after we pay off that 400,000 first mortgage, we are, or you will be wiring that $400,000 left over back after we get the account set up. So $400,000 going back in the account on month 2 after you close. And then we're going to do expenses again. Taxes should, insurance should run you around $600 unless you're in a higher property tax state like California, Texas, or Florida. That will fluctuate. So, and then again, we're saying that after all of your expenses, your $4,000 in expenses each month, that counts car payments, credit card bills, food, gas, utility, stuff like that. So you're going to, the mortgage is already built in. The taxes and insurance is already built into the simulation. So we don't count that. So after 15,000 in income, mortgage, 4,000 in expenses, you're going to have 52 left over. We're going to calculate the results. So in 6.5 years, if you don't spend that money and you don't make any extra mortgage payments and you stick to your budget, you will have that mortgage paid off in 6.5 years and you'll have $800,000 available. We look at this pay down summary, check this out. 0.820 was your effective APR over that 6-year period of paying it off. Again, remember, you made 0 extra payments. You just lived your life, paid your expenses, did what you do. And look at this average principal reduced monthly over 6 years, average $10,000 a month. Now, you only had 5,000 left over at the beginning. So as you went further and further, the amount of money you had in the account was manipulating the interest so much that you were putting more towards that principal. So let's look at this. I want to show you this now, which is the rates and assumptions. Now we had a 0.8 APR. We started with an 8.3. This rate is based on the SOFR index, which is 4.307, and a margin. So if you don't buy your margin down at closing, your margin's set at 4. So your actual rate was 8.307. How did we get to this here? Because we manipulated the interest every single night because there was money in the bank. And it only takes interest, draws interest out on the 21st of the following month. So you had 30 days of not having to make a mortgage payment, all built into that. Your income coming in through direct deposit, because this is a bank account. Money comes into your account and gets swept into your mortgage each night, and it's available, right? So this money is available. If we go to the pay down table, remember month 2, we put $400,000 back in. So this month, money's available. You could spend it, and let's spend it, because that's why we want to do these simulations. Because here's the thing. I mean, yes, it'd be great to pay off your mortgage in 6.5 years. Let's say you're 15 years into your mortgage, and you still got 15 years to go. We could expedite that by refinancing it into this program, drop your effective rate down to 0.8, 0.6 on this situation, and you'd have money available if you needed it. So I would definitely, I mean, the only way to get wealthy, and I mean, you can get a good stockbroker, you could be a good stockbroker and make some money in the stock market, but the only sustainable wealth building vehicle is really real estate. So, and you could do both in this system. We can meet with the financial planner and we can decide which goals are more important. Is it a bigger portfolio in stocks or is it a bigger real estate portfolio? And then we adjust where the money's going to get you to your goals. So the answer is yes, you definitely still put money in the stock market. You definitely want to put money into real estate, but where is your main focus? And that's where we kind of calculate. And maybe it takes longer to accrue this if you want more stock portfolio. So knowing that we have over $400,000 available right out of month two, let's start investing. Okay. Future one-time expenses. Oh, you know what? Let me remove those and recalculate. Yikes. Okay, so now we're at 2.7 years. I actually had these purchases built in before on the last simulation. So we're at 2.7 years. You'll have that paid off. Let's look at this pay down summary or the pay down table. So we put 400,000 in there and you are building your account back that fast because remember, you only had 5,000 left over, but you're actually paying less and less interest as you get closer to this total. So instead of only having 5,000 count towards principal, now you have 8, 9, 10,000 counting towards principal. So here, not even 3 years in, you're going to have 800,000 available. So now I want to go back and start putting in those expenses. So let's say, in your situation, let's say you're buying $400,000 properties. They could be homes, they could be condos, but with this kind of budget, let's do a $200,000 purchase. We're going to put $200,000 down on a DSCR for a $400,000 property, and you're going to get in the mid to low sixes on that rate with those terms. All right, so we're going to save and close. Let's say we found one on month 10. So we went from 2.7 years to 4 years paid off. So in 4 years, you're going to have $800,000 and you put $200,000 down on a $400,000 property. So you now own two properties in that 4 years. So let's look at this pay down summary. You're still at 0.650 APR. Let's go buy a couple more. And we're going to do the same thing. Maybe you want, since you got money coming, let's say we go 250,000 on a $500,000 one. The reason I'm doing this is because number one, you have the money to do it. Number two, the higher assets are going to appreciate at a larger clip every month. And you're going to get more rent off of these $400,000 and $500,000 homes. Now, once you get past 500, it's going to be hard to get the rent to cover the mortgage. When we put half down, you're easily going to get into that rent ratio of, you're renting for 1.125 times your mortgage. And that's the sweet spot we want to get to with these DSCR loans. DSCR loans, we don't have to show income, W-2s, taxes, anything. It's all based on this rent ratio, credit, and down payment. So we're going to keep putting that $250,000 down. Let's say month 18. And let's say month 28. Let's say you were really aggressive. So 7.6 years. And we did not calculate any income from those properties. We're just, for simplicity's sake, we're saying they broke even. But you put freaking 50% down, you're definitely generating income to add to that deposit every month. This is where I would use this house, your Bank of John Smith, you're putting over your house because it's a bank now. And all that rent money comes into the bank. You're paying property taxes and insurance once a year out of that account in one lump sum. So by having that money in the account the whole time, you're actually manipulating the interest. Okay. So in this situation, we're looking at $800,000. You paid off your first mortgage. In 7.6 years, you have $800,000 in the Bank of John Smith, which is your house. And you have 3 properties in addition that are rentals that you have 50% equity in each of those. So now you have 100% equity in your home and 50% equity in another 1.5 million properties. So instantly, your wealth went through the roof in the next 7.6 years. This is why this loan makes sense. And I know we talked about let's go to rates and assumptions. We're starting out at an 8.307. Again, index is 4.3. We go off the SOFR. 30-day average of the SOFR index gives us this number. Margin, you can buy that down. You can buy it all the way down to 2.5. All right, that's going to cost you points. But this is worst case scenario. And I want to show you because your question is, I know it's going to be going down over the next 3 to 5 years. What happens when it starts going up? So let's just call this an 11% rate and recalculate. It only added a year, little over a year to 11% rate. So even if that was your rate for the whole time, we're talking 6, 7, maybe 10 plus years before it gets back up to 11%. If it ever does, we're still on an 8.8 year, and your APR, effective APR, was only 3.082. That's a huge win. And that by doing so, maybe you had a better rate on your first mortgage. Maybe it was 2.5. Okay, that's great and all, but your payment, your average minimum payment was probably still less than what that 2.5 rate was. And even though we went to 3% over that time frame, over your 2.5, guess what? That 2.5% did not get you 3 extra properties, 1.5 million worth of assets. So this, if you can move your mindset from rate focused to cost, every day you're going to see this and it's going to make sense. And again, we're manipulating that rate every single night when it sweeps whatever money comes into your account towards the principal. And again, just because it sweeps it towards your principal, that money is available at all times. In an emergency, it's there and available. All right. So hope this helps, and reach out to me if you want a specific scenario run, or if you're interested in applying and getting one of these loans for yourself.